I went to play snooker.
After watching other people do it for so long.
Yeah, after watching the best in the world play snooker, I went to play snooker by myself, and it was close to impossible.
Not by yourself, with your friends.
Yeah, well, with my friends, yeah, and we played one game which lasted over an hour. To the people who watch snooker, they know this is close to impossible. But basically, the three of us played. But
so is it split into teams of 2 or what?
Yeah.
Then
1v1. Usually it's just 1v1.
Yeah, but then if it's 2 people, it's not fair, right?
What do you mean?
Like if it's 3 people and one team has 2 and one team only has 1 person.
Yeah, I know. That's why we did 1v1v1. So we did everybody separate and we all can collect our own points.
Oh.
And then usually...
But then you have the stripes and the...
No, that's
solids.
Billiard, what you're talking about. We played snooker where you only have like completely solid balls, and it's pretty funny to play because I completely underestimated the game of snooker because it was such a massive table. It was so hard to pot those balls. Jesus Christ. Like, I can claim I'm like average at billiard, but Jesus Christ, like on snooker it was actually close to impossible. So hard to pot those balls. Playing with balls is not easy when it comes to snooker. Balls. Jesus, actually mad. Like, it was so difficult to play. But yeah, in the end I played and every person had then over 60 points, which is pretty mad. And then afterwards,
what's average though?
I'd say usually it takes like 3 goes or something, and then afterwards someone has like by themselves 70 points and then knocks the other one out. But all we did was wait for another person to like make mistakes. So we were waiting on the fouls from other people to get points, which was pretty funny. And then afterwards, in the end I didn't win, but it was still quite funny to play snooker just like that, get the feel for it. And yeah, pretty gassed. Now I've got a beverage genie in the hands.
I wonder where snooker originated from, because every like country has snooker, but it's not really a big thing in like most countries.
I think it's completely underestimated how big snooker is, you know.
Where?
No, because I mean, here in Hong Kong I didn't expect it to be that big either, but a whole stadium got sold out
because they had like finally there was something to do after having nothing to do for a long time. I don't think it's because people loved snooker. I think it's because finally they had like somewhere to go and like something was happening.
Yeah, it could be. But it was like Ronnie O'Sullivan was there, John Higgins, Robertson, just like so many big players. And for all those people who watch snooker out there, I witnessed Marco Fu's 5th ever 147. I know that means nothing to you and you don't know what to start with that, but basically it was a mad moment and I watched someone get a 147 in snooker and it was so
like,
sick.
Wait, I do get it. So like you got 60 points and he got 147. That's twice your points in one game.
No, a 147 is if he puts all the balls in one go, and he also, every time he puts in a red ball, he puts in the black ball, which gives them 7 points, the maximum amount of points. Mm-hmm. That's an easy way of explaining it, but there's more to it. But yeah, it was proper mad. I watched someone get a 147. It was so sick to witness. And yeah, watching snooker is now one of my new hobbies. I know in the beginning, I used to also, you know when you're like flicking through telly and you're like trying to look for like to watch cartoons or something, and you come across snooker and you quickly skip and you're like, oh, it's so boring. Now I'd stay to watch it.
I've never seen a snooker match on TV. Maybe that's because it didn't exist where I was from.
Yeah, true. Yeah, out in the sticks, you know, they don't have they don't
No, but I'm curious though, like what's the difference between pool and billiard and snooker? Is it a big difference between
I don't know exact. I think there's 9 ball, which is like pool, which is like we have to hit, the balls are numbered 1 to 9, and then you have to hit them all in by number, you know. Then afterwards you have billiard where you have stripes and you have solids, and then you have to put those in. And then you have snooker where you have multiple amounts of balls. They all have different colour. Well, there's 8 of them that have a red colour, and there's I think 6 of them that have different colours, and they all give different points. They all give between 2 and 7 points. And then you have to pot those in, and yeah.
Do you know what?
Technically, that's how it works. But yeah, that's the a very simple explanation that doesn't help you any further. But technically, there's that difference there.
Do you know what carom is? Is it a thing? Probably don't. It's like chess. No, it's like checkers where you have like small little round flat pieces and then you like flick it with your fingers like this and it goes. And then it's just like pool where the little pieces disappear. Like there's a hole and it goes through that.
I've heard of that.
I don't think it's a big thing, but it's...
For a second I thought you were going to refer to the chess boxing.
What's that?
It's where you like play a certain amount of moves on chess, then you go and box for one round.
Like physically like box.
Physically box. And then you go back and you continue playing chess and then you do it again. That actually exists, you know.
Have you seen the Harry Potter movie where like there's a real life chessboard and then he gets on top of the horse, the knight, and
that's the first Harry Potter movie, isn't it?
I don't remember, but I think it is.
Yeah.
That's the only one you ever watched.
No, I watched all Harry Potter movies.
You watched all Harry Potter movies?
I think so, yeah.
You told me you didn't watch it.
Yeah, well, otherwise, because I know otherwise I'd be forced to watch them. And I know, I didn't really like it, to be honest. Harry Potter is not really my thing. But what I did watch recently...
Oh, speaking of Harry Potter, do you know that Hagrid passed away today? Like, the actor who plays Hagrid. He passed away. Yeah, he died at like 70 years old or something.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. He was such a loved character. It's kind of crazy. And you know, Snape passed away a few years ago as well.
That I know. That's the actor of Snape died.
Yeah.
I did know. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, it's not really crazy, isn't it? It's just that their time... You know, everybody has their time, right? So... I don't know, it's not that crazy. 70 is like a...
Speaking of people dying... I told you I'm good at this.
Speaking of people dying...
You know,
Jeffrey Dahmer made a lot of people die.
Yeah.
No, I think that's one of the main things we wanted to talk about today is well, my girlfriend made it clear to me she's doesn't only want to talk about crime things, so we're gonna not talk about this for all too long, but it's definitely a topic that we have to talk about today. Jeffrey Dahmer, the Netflix series came out.
Yeah.
I think 2-3 weeks ago now, and I think it's time that we can reveal spoilers. We're going to reveal a lot of spoilers in here. So if you haven't watched Jeffrey Dahmer, please skip to the next section of the podcast. But now we're going to go a little bit more in depth of what actually happens and what they reveal, what goes on in the Jeffrey Dahmer Netflix reenactment series. So not the tapes, the reenactment.
Yeah, and it was very intense. Like, we both watch a lot of crime series and we couldn't handle it. Like, we got physically sick. And I know that sounds super crazy, but we were actually physically sick.
Yeah, and sounds so over the top as well. Like, oh my god, I got actually sick from it.
We did though.
I know.
But it could have been like something else as well, because we were doing a lot of things the day before that. But
that sounds very wrong. Can you please state that in a different way? We ate a lot of food.
Yeah, we ate a lot of food that day, and we were just like out and about the whole day. And then we came home and then we watched like 2 episodes of Jeffrey Dahmer, and I think it was me who got sick first. Like, I felt super vomitish and like just very grossed out and just very, very sick. And then you got really sick, and then you had to call in sick the next day as well.
I didn't call in sick the next day.
I swear you stayed home sick one of these days.
That wasn't because of that. I came home, yeah. No, I didn't call in sick, no.
You got fever.
I did feel very bad. Like, I remember, like, after watching that, and I was thinking, this can be it. I was like, is this food poisoning? Is this like bad food that we ate, or is this because of what we just watched? But
then also a friend of mine watched all the episodes, all 10 episodes in one day. So
yeah, that's also because she has no life then. Yeah, life. How do you have the time?
No, it's very addictive. I remember like one day, because we watched a show together, and even though I really want to watch it by myself, I have to wait for you, and you told me you don't want to watch it one day, and I was so annoyed. Yeah. And then I had to really like control myself to not sneakily watch it by myself. And then the next day you were like, I don't really want to watch it. And I was like, no, I don't care what you're doing, cancel it, we are gonna watch it today.
No, it is very intense. And
I think
what for you, I just have a few questions for you. What was the most pissing off thing for you while watching? What's the most frustrating thing
the
While watching
police, like so many times. I think this is very common. I think most of the people who watch it would probably have the same answer. But it's a time when that boy who was just escorted back into his apartment and there was no follow-up.
Yeah.
And like it's just so frustrating. That's like the most frustrating part. And I also don't like the whole series in general, because I feel like it gives Jeffrey Dahmer like this backstory, and like, you know, you talk about why he's the way he is and everything. And I think and I saw that a lot of the victims were upset. I mean, their families were upset because they were like, why does he get to tell all his, like, you know, stories, and why are we like, you know, at some points we were sympathizing with him because of the way his parents treated him and stuff like that, and the way he's been treated. And
I just snapped out of it. We did snap out of it. Yeah.
But it's easy to like feel bad for him at some points, and I don't think he's the one who deserves his story told.
Yeah. But I think well, I disagree with you on that, because I think that's exactly what they were trying to avoid. They were not trying to tell his story. They were trying to give the victim a voice. I mean, that one guy who was like deaf and trying to become a model.
Yeah.
But the sad part is that we don't remember their names. That's what pisses me off.
Exactly.
You don't remember their names.
And there were so many victims, and we know all of the victims only at the end when they said it. Like I mean, I get it from like a movie perspective. You can't really give each victim equal amounts of attention and things like that. Doesn't make sense. Yes, but you know, it's not fair, because
100%.
Every death is like equal. If that makes sense.
You know, every life is worth the same. Exactly. The most frustrating part for me was definitely the fact that he could have been caught so many times and he got away with it. I mean, that scene when he was like 18, he had a body in the back of his car, was drunk driving, and gets stopped.
Okay, but that's okay. It's
no,
just
how is
drunk.
That okay? It pissed me off.
No,
like,
but that's okay.
It's so frustrating. But you know, like, I was thinking about it more and more, and the more I kept thinking about it, you know how my dad was like from the same place and
the same state.
Yeah, my dad was from the same state, but you know, the States is just massive, so like, you know, obviously like probably a few hundred kilometers still like away from him. But I think the racism in it was still like very clear, and the way my dad talks about like his upbringing, the way it was, I think was very good reenacted, because my dad said the racism was so strong back then, and he would like say, oh, there would be like race wars in his school, and like he said he went to this school where like there was once in his high school a race war broke out.
What?
Where like white people were starting to
like
fight against
children. White children against
like high school kids.
Oh my god.
Were like fighting against each other, and then like my dad had this friend who was black, and he basically saved my dad, and he like ran out with he like saved my dad from like these people who were like inciting this riot. And so the racism in it is definitely not like overacted. I think it's very genuine, and I think they did a very good job in like portraying that and showing like how messed up the system is over there. And those two stupid policemen who let the Laotian boy like go back up to the 14-year-old kid go back up to the apartment. Oh my days. Oh, so
and also
frustrating.
Like, I remember we talked about this. So we watched I watched the John Wayne Gacy tapes by myself, because I could not like wait for you to like watch one episode per day.
That's the last episode, right? They bring up John Wayne Gacy because they reference John Wayne Gacy a bit in the last episode, because the same day John Wayne Gacy died, Jeffrey Dahmer got baptized. Yeah. And there was a solar eclipse, which is nuts, like the timing of it.
But I wonder if that's true though, because you know the series has some like things that aren't true. Like, you know, the neighbor, she's not actually his next door neighbor, and she's never met Jeffrey Dahmer in real life. She lived in the building next door, but she called the police constantly. And like his neighbor was this lady, and she was quite fond of Jeffrey, and there were never like sounds coming from his apartment. That was made up.
Really?
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Really? Okay,
yeah.
God. Okay, I thought she was the actual like.
But then the human flesh sandwich, whatever. I mean, speculated human flesh sandwich could have been true, because the neighbor said that Jeffrey would always give her sandwiches, and she's like, I could have possibly eaten a human.
Nah, that's mess.
And she ate it as well. But it wasn't Glenda, Cleveland, if I'm not getting it wrong.
Okay. But where was then that Glenda?
She lived in the building next door, and she was just suspicious of him because of... Oh, she did see the Laotian boy out, and she's the one who called the police about the Laotian boy, and she called so many times to follow up and ask, like, is this boy okay? But she didn't live next door to him.
Damn.
And she never met Jeffrey in real life, so that was fake.
Now, that whole Jeffrey, it's so crazy, that whole thing that happened. It's just, you ask yourself, how does that even like take place? Like,
but I have a question. You know, like in the last episode they talk about how they were considering studying his brain.
Yeah.
Would you have liked to see the results, or are you happy that the judge like said no, we don't want to see his brain, whatever?
I guess no, because Jeffrey, apparently, according to the series that we watched, in his will he wanted to be his full body. He said he wanted his full body to be burnt, cremated. Yeah, he wanted to be cremated fully. So like, even though he's a like disgusting like human being and it's like completely inhumane what he did, I guess you should be able or like allowed to like honor that wish, I guess.
Yeah, but why does he get?
Yeah, I know, but like.
But if it helps like the future of science, don't you think we should like disregard his wishes?
I don't know.
Because he didn't like care about it, like all the 17.
Of course, he didn't kill about those people who he killed, but if you kill him, isn't it an eye for an eye like kind of situation?
Yeah.
Then you're like taking what he. Then it comes back to the death sentence thing, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like why. I think it would have been very interesting to know the results. Obviously, everybody wants to know the results, but at the same time, it's like, do you go? Are you going to be unethical and not regard his wish? I mean, they already went against it by taking his brain out and like putting it in some like university where they can study it.
Yeah. I think they did study John Wayne Gacy's brain though, and it came out to be normal.
Yeah, but that's because John Wayne Gacy was. I believe John Wayne Gacy was way scarier than Dahmer. Dahmer was like a loner. He was like obviously homosexual, and he was just going to clubs and then drugging people and killing them.
John Wayne Gacy was not scary. He like
yes,
I mean
he was.
In the last
he was the scariest of all. He was completely normal. He would dress up as a clown, go to places, say, oh, he had a whole business that was normal, and then behind closed doors,
he was so influential. Like he was so like even when he went to prison one time for something, and like he started his own club in prison, and people would like join his club. He was so influential. He wasn't scary. People liked him.
That's exactly what's scary, that he has that kind of power over people.
Yeah, but even Jeffrey Dahmer is scary because all you have to do is like just drink something that he offers.
Dahmer didn't have any control over people. Dahmer would just drug people. And I mean, there were so many times where Dahmer got through on luck. I mean, the grandma, remember she saved like those lives of that one guy because she stuck by his side. Dahmer didn't have influence over anyone. Gacy would like convince people that, yo, like come here and then like I'll offer you a job in my construction site, and then he just kill him off. So Gacy was way scarier if you think about it. He was able to like get in people's heads. Dahmer didn't have that kind of power.
Yeah, I watched the documentary. They talk about a survivor, and they just talk about this guy who was staying over at Gacy's apartment for some reason, and then he scared him like hell, and he thought he was gonna die. And then Gacy would be like, "Oh, I was just pranking you. I just wanted to see how far I can push you." And the guy believed him, and he was just like, haha, and like slipped. Because he's just so convincing, you just trust him.
Yeah, damn, mental. If you have that kind of power, it's crazy. Yeah, no. Gacy's way scarier. But I was also thinking of who is the biggest legend. Who do you think was the best guy in that whole series of Dahmer?
Legend?
Yeah, not a legend, but like who do you think was like the most influential? Who do you think like was the best?
I don't think anyone.
Which one played the biggest role? I know who.
I would have thought it's Glenda, but knowing that her story wasn't true, I'm like, I don't know if you played that much of a big part.
Yeah.
But other than that, I can't really think of anyone. Maybe I used to think it was, I don't know, I can't think of anyone. What about you?
It's definitely very clear for me the guy who like went to the police to get Dahmer.
Oh yes.
The guy, he got away from Dahmer, knew what Dahmer was doing, saw everything he did, got drugged, was in Dahmer's apartment, somehow got out of there, ran out, even after he heard Dahmer say, like, I'm gonna eat your heart and stuff, made it out of the apartment alive, went back into the apartment to
With
identify Dahmer, and then afterwards even went to court to speak out against Dahmer. Like, the amount of courage you have to do that is insane. So many, like, to be honest, if that would happen to me, there's no way I'm going back in that house, cause there's no way I'm going back into the house where someone almost tried to kill me, and he just went back in and just said, yeah, that's him.
Yeah, that's
the
crazy.
balls on that guy, fam. Nuts.
He probably wanted like no one else to find out about it.
Yeah.
I mean, no one else to like go through the same thing again ever.
But it's quite sad that afterwards that guy then was turned out to become a homeless guy.
What,
and
really?
Then, he turned out.
How do you know that?
I read it up where he is now.
Oh.
And he became homeless and started like doing small like crimes and stuff, and even like killed someone afterwards because he spiraled so bad.
Like PTSD?
Must be. Like,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
going through that and then like not receiving any help from like the state or anything, you're gonna end up in a mad situation. Yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer is a deep thing, and we'll get to
But
that
you have
later
to.
again.
But if you like crime series, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Because I remember we didn't want to watch it at first because you weren't a fan of reenactments, but it was really good.
Yeah, it is very good. But see, that's what I don't like reenactments, because not everything is facts. And what I
Yeah.
like about documentaries is that they're all facts, straight up. They state it
But
how
they
it
lack
is.
the spice, you know.
They do lack the spice, but that's what I like. I just want to know the factuals, because I don't want to know, oh yeah, it's this. They dramatise exactly that Glenda. That pisses me off that actually wasn't even the proper neighbour, didn't smell it. Like, you know, it's
Yeah.
reenactment. I don't like that.
Even in John Wayne Gacy's apartment, all his victims would like smell this like mad like smell.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But I don't
The
think
smell
John
of
Wayne
death.
Gacy ever ate his victims. I think that was a Dahmer thing.
Yeah.
I think John Wayne Gacy just killed them.
Yes, man. Still.
Crazy.
Anyways, let's move on to our next topic of today. Talking about John Wayne Gacy having a construction site, he had his own business.
Wow.
Would you like to have your own business one day?
Is that actually like what you want?
That's fine.
Like, are you serious? No, I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know. I've always been against it because I am very like, I don't like taking risks in life. I'm very risk averse. But now that I've started working, and now that I get frustrated by things, now that I've finally like started like joined and I've been working for people, and sometimes it just frustrates me how I can't like go through with what I believe in because someone else doesn't believe in it. Now I'm like, maybe what makes me happy is something of my own. But haven't you heard that like your 20s you should spend working, your 30s you should spend like enjoying, and your 40s you should start your own business? That's like a thing.
Doesn't make any sense. So your 20s you should
work and like
work.
get ahead in like, and you know, get to a good position, like get promoted, like hustle through your 20s.
Hustle, man.
And then your 30s you can just chill out, you know, like focus on your family and things like that and relax a bit. And 40 you start your own business.
It's too long for me. I can't wait that long.
You want to start your business now?
Yeah, no. I've been working for quite a long time now. I started working at 16, worked in the hospitality sector, studied, went back to the hospitality sector, now working in a different sector of my life. And I think like the whole time like working for someone else, it never satisfies you. Like, I can't understand, well, I don't know, I guess like I would have to have someone explain it to me, but I can't understand the fulfillment that you get working for someone else. You're not really making a big difference. You're completing someone else's dream. Someone else is paying you to like make their business work, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Not really. Like,
Well,
it's very specific. So if you're working for like, you can't just, even if you can just believe in what your company believes in, and if your company aligns with your personal goals, then you're not really making someone else's dream come true.
But that's like very rare. There's never going to be like a full-on company that's going to align with your beliefs.
Or maybe your beliefs and your goals are just to make money, and like if you work for a company that pays you well, then your goals are like achieved.
But then if you only make money and you work all the time, what
But
do you
it
get
depends
out
on
of
what
that?
you want. Like, what do you want? What do you consider like your goal?
What do you
to
consider
be?
success?
Yeah.
What's
No,
success for you?
no, please.
It's like a street interview. What's success for you?
No, I don't know.
No, say that's actually a good question.
I don't
What's
know. I'm
success?
currently going through a life crisis, so don't spring
No, but
this on me.
But it's an interesting question, and I would like to know the answer. What is success to you?
I don't know. It's evolving because
Sorry, yeah.
early as 6 months ago, my definition of success is very different to what it is now. Because 6 months ago, I was just out of university, just trying to look for a job in the field that I enjoyed in. And then I found the job, and then I was very happy, like very proud, very like, I'm like, okay, this is what I wanted, now I'm here. And then I'm like, okay. And then I do the work, and I'm like, okay, maybe this is not what I want. And then like it hits me. And like 6 months ago, I didn't really think that enjoying what you do and like loving your work was important. I just thought I don't really need to like love what I do, as long as it helps me get ahead. Like, I don't care because I don't need to love what I do on like a daily basis. But now, after having worked in my company, I'm like, I don't love going to work, and it bothers me that I don't love going to work. And I don't honestly know if people genuinely love going to work or not. But I kind of want to love going to work.
I don't think anyone ever loves going to work.
Not love, just like happy being there. Like wow, I made a difference. Like I made an impact. Like me being here does something. I don't want to chase that.
But I don't know if I have enough experience yet, but I would definitely say that's like a good thing that you have that, because that shows you have strive and you want to achieve more. I think if you would be like settling, like as soon as you reach something, that's not like having proper goals, right? You always want to evolve. Like 6 months ago you were in a place where you weren't getting enough money, and then now you're getting more money. And then now you're like, okay, well now I've got more money, now I want this. And then you keep evolving and evolving till you reach a pinnacle, right? And I guess that pinnacle, almost like, as much as it sounds silly, is like opening your own business, right? Where you reach that pinnacle where you've achieved like everything, or you've gotten everything you want, you've gotten all the money, you're happy at where you work, you have the experience, you have all that you need from like the corporate world basically, and then you're like, okay, well now actually I can take all that and invest it, because you've made enough money, but invest it into myself by making your own company and going into the market. But
I don't think that's the pinnacle, because then you start your own company and then like, I want to be bigger, I want to hire more people. It doesn't
but then
stop.
You continue, but that's the whole point of a business. Obviously it doesn't stop, but I don't think there is a business that stops running, right? You always go for more. It's not as if like it's like, if you like, for an example, Disney like stops. They always continue to make more money. They want to make more. They expand. They make more Disney worlds, more Disney movies, more Disney characters come into play, more new series, all that kind of stuff,
But it's just like
expand their business. That's just business, right? Just keeps going.
If you're always wanting more, then are you like sacrificing your current happiness? Because you're like, I would be happy if I had that. Like, this is what we talked about last night, I guess.
But there is a phrase, I forget who said this, but this success is not the end goal, but it's the journey.
But that's hard, because right now I'm like second guessing myself, and I'm thinking like, do I want to keep doing this? Like, am I not happy? Like, what if like I make the wrong career move and I end up in a place that's like not as good as the place I'm in, and then I'm like, oh, I wasn't appreciating what I had back then.
Yeah, but
even with like body,
that's taking a risk. But I mean, like for right now, I mean, we're both young. Like right now, we could both completely change up our career And in 3 years, we would be fine. And we would be in that career if we wanted to. And I think like very much like depends on like how much you're willing to risk, right? And I think you, even though you say you're like not a risk taker, I think you're very much a risk taker.
I'm so scared of risk. I don't do anything risky.
I think you take risks. I mean, you took the risk. I mean, people have known now that you're from Sri Lanka and that you've risked going, well, you could say it's a risk. You went from Sri Lanka to Hong Kong.
I don't think it was a massive risk.
That is a risk. Of course,
Why
it's a
was
risk.
that risk? Okay.
Well, imagine something happens to your like family or something and you can't go home or whatever. Or like you're here in Hong Kong and then afterwards you have to find your own place. And I mean, you consistently you're very much on yourself, by yourself, and you're always have to rely on yourself. You don't have any real family here that you can rely on. You're very much independent, and you're very much learning like day by day how to cope with that. You know, at a very young age, which a lot of other people don't. You know, they very much live nearby their families where they can just rely on their families. And you don't have that, you know. You're in a completely different time zone, you know.
You're a massive risk taker.
Yeah, no.
You like switching things up very, very frequently.
Yeah, no, because that's what you're supposed to do, I guess. I guess it depends what you value in life, right? I mean, if you value money, then yeah, like you don't really need to enjoy your job. You just want to make sure you're making the bucks, the shmoolah, the peas, the cheddar that you can afterwards go and spend. But like, there's no use for me in my eyes. There's no use in like having so much money when you don't have the time to really spend it, you know. And I don't really like materialistic things. I've never. I don't know why. I've just never been attracted to materialistic things. But obviously, I like nice clothes and I like, and I like good food and all that. But is food materialistic?
I don't think so.
I would like a nice house.
I guess it is. It's like a material thing.
Yeah, I like good food. I like a nice house. I would like nice clothes, but that's not something that I would strive to. Like in the end, like success, you know, for me, it's just like being with the right people in the right place. You know, it doesn't really matter where I am or what. Well, it does matter what I'm doing, but mainly it matters where I am and with who I am. That's my definition of success. Yeah. That's maybe what probably led me to Hong Kong. So yeah.
No, but I know we've both been like very much going through this recently, with you realizing how important like your family and friends are, and me not knowing what I want to do.
I think family and friends are so important. It's very much underrated how many people who are living close to their families, how much they take them for granted.
Yeah.
And I think generally people just like, if your like friends are close by you should just rate them more. And I really lately have been missing my friends a lot. And I think I really underappreciate them a lot of the time when I'm with them, and so I can't wait to see them again, to actually like see them in person, like even though like they'll take the piss out of everything, you know, like I miss that culture, you know, because like no one can like relate to that the way no one can relate to you the same way like your friends and like family does. Like, you know, people who you meet recently, yeah, they can try, but like no one like can know you as in depth as like your friends and family.
I think the hardest one for me when I live away from my family is when I see my family all together. It hurts. Like, as much as I'm happy that everyone's together and like having a nice time, like whenever my family meets up so much, like when I was a child,
like your family's mental how much they meet up. It's actually crazy.
When I was a child, I used to be like, oh my god, I cannot go to another thing, like I cannot. We had like 3 like crazy how many times they meet up. So sometimes like I'm like, okay, I'm glad I'm not there right now because I don't want to be in that. But sometimes it gets tough. Sometimes I'm like, I'm missing out a lot of things, and like things happen and big milestones, and people get married and people have babies, and there are like babies I've never seen in my life, and they're grown up now and they can talk, and I've never seen them.
They look like Peppa Pig.
Yeah, they talk like Peppa Pig, and I've never seen them, and it gets tough, but that's what you have to sacrifice.
I think yesterday we had this conversation of like, it depends where you are and that like can determine like on your happiness. And I don't think that's really the case, because I was thinking like today as well, like I could go to the shittiest bar and I could go to the most stupid place, like the most thing I could hate going to this place, but if my friends are with me, I know it's going to be good. Like I know it's going to be fun because I know they're there, and I know they're going to take the piss, and I know they have the same kind of mindset as me, you know. You're all like kind of on the same wavelength, so like no matter what you do, like even if it's complete and utter shit, like you can still have a very good time because you're with your friends, and like they can make it better, and you can each individually like add to it. And I think, you know, you do that as well.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I got a bit deep there. Jeez.
We're gonna start crying now.
But yeah, no, I think that's a big part, and I think if you're with your friend right now, message them, call them, tell them you miss them and that you love them, because
no, don't message them and call them. Just go to them. Go to their house.
Go to them. Hug them. Feel them. Touch them up.
Don't feel them. Don't do
touch
that.
them up, touch their ass and say, damn, you Bundeslangers, cuz. Now, it's that time that would you rather. Okay. Today I have 2 would you rather questions. You have a would you rather question for me, and I'll start, and then you can do yours, and then I'll do mine.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Would you rather eat a human's hand or foot?
No.
I did these would you rathers according to what we talked about today.
No, I can't. It's too graphic. Like after watching Jeffrey Dahmer and seeing like how he does it, and also like I don't know why, but then I saw this like reel about the 5 creepiest YouTube videos, and she said that one of them was this video called An Interview with a Cannibal, and then I don't know why, but I went and watched the whole 30-minute video.
And thank you for sharing it with me.
Yeah, and then I made Bruno watch it as well, and then he described like in detail, like super like casually how he would
with
eat.
No remorse,
super casually, like
how he just killed the
how he would just like eat people. And I can't answer that. It's too trauma.
You can.
I cannot.
Come on.
No.
Hand or foot? What are you eating? You're not going to say it? You're going to refuse?
I starved to death. I cannot.
It's not about starving. It's about what would you have to eat.
Okay, what kind
Someone
of hand?
has a gun to your head.
And I have to eat a person.
My hand or my foot?
Ew. Probably your hand.
You see my feet. Who cares? That it's going to be burnt.
No.
It's not going to be just like direct from the flesh.
Yeah, but like hands are, I feel like, cleaner because they're always exposed.
Who cares? It's going to be fried. Yeah. Okay, not fried, it's going to be like cooked.
Then I guess if it's like completely like you put the sanitary aspect of it aside, I think food, because food has like more like muscles, so that's more. Oh no, I don't want more to eat.
You hungry?
But hand, do you mean like the palm or like the
complete hand and the complete foot?
Complete foot meaning like your calves and everything?
Foot. That's your leg, you idiot.
You said complete.
I said foot, not leg.
Okay, then arm is what? Then your hand is what?
Your hand is from
your wrist?
Your hand, yeah, from your wrist, and your foot is from your ankle downwards.
Okay, then your foot. Because
okay.
The hand is too bony, you know, so many bones.
Yeah, that's exactly why I would go for it, because it's less meat.
Yeah, but then it'd be so graphic because you know exactly what like a hand feels like. You'd have to like pick apart the meat and it'll look like a human like wrist bone, and that's so gross. So foot.
Jesus Christ. Disgusting. Would you rather?
And I guess it's quite related as well.
Okay.
So would you rather invent something that changes humanity for the better, but spend 5 years in space by yourself?
Okay.
Or be surrounded by the people you love on Earth, but always be the worst at everything you do, no matter what you do, no matter whether it's like, just constantly be the worst at every single thing you do, like literally like anything, like walking, the worst at everything, the worst child in your family, the worst employee in your organization, you're not good at anything, but you're surrounded by people you love. or be someone who changes humanity for the better, but spend 5 years in space by
And
yourself.
if I change humanity for the better, am I still going to be surrounded by my family?
No, you're gonna be in space by yourself. That's the whole point.
For 5 years, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then afterwards, when I come back?
Then it's whatever.
It's what it is now.
5 years is a long time.
I know, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, definitely to space.
5 years is a long time.
5 years is a long time, but you're in space, and I would love to go to space.
But you're gonna be by yourself in space.
Yeah, but space, fam.
5 years.
You know how sick
You
just
can't even
chilling in
talk to
space.
them like on the phone or anything.
Oh, so you're in solitary.
Solitary for 5 long years. Do you know what solitary does to people? Like I
yeah,
saw
no,
a
it drives
video.
them crazy, yeah, man.
Or you want to be constantly feeling like
Okay, wait, but if
The
I'm
worst
with
thing.
my friends and family and I fail at everything, are
Fail at
they
everything.
forgiving?
I mean, they don't care, but you feel shit because you feel like you're not good at
Yeah.
anything. I mean, you look very bad, like your body's gonna like fail, like, everything's gonna. There's nothing going right for you.
But I have my friends and family.
They're in close proximity. I mean, maybe your relationships fail too. I don't know. I haven't thought
Well,
that far. Yeah, I don't know.
well, no, you have to. Well, do I have a strong relationship with them? If I have a strong relationship with them, then afterwards I
Yeah,
maybe
but then
take that.
sometimes they get annoyed because you're just bad at everything,
Okay,
and they don't want to take you
understood.
anywhere.
Wow. I mean, no, but I hate failing at shit. You know that.
Yeah.
I hate being bad at stuff.
But you also hate
it
being
pisses
alone.
me off, and I hate being alone. I hate both of those things. Shit.
You made me answer that, so you know
Ah,
how
that's a good question. I think I'd take solitary confinement. Like, I
5 years.
Yeah, but I hate like being bad at things, and like when I come back, at least then I can like chill with them and like be with them, and I can appreciate them more. But like, I hate being bad at things. Like, it pisses me off when I can't do something. You know how frustrated I get, even though like I don't show it. Like, it pisses me off. Like, I get so infuriated, and like, yeah, you are alone. Oh, but if you're alone, whoa.
But then you also have the thoughts like, will they forget me? What if they don't remember me anymore?
Yeah, of course you have that. But then I'm sure like if you, but I did something to change humanity. So yeah, no, I would choose that. I would choose that.
Like you single-handedly.
I don't think they'd forget me because they know I like changed something and I did something good.
Okay, make it 10 years in space.
Well, you can't just change it up now. No, 5 years in space. 5 years in space. I'll take that.
Okay.
What would you do?
No, that's your question.
Well, no, you have to answer as well.
I think for me, I don't really like. I find it funny when I fail at things, so I don't care.
Ha.
I do like. I'm very bad at like sports and games, and I just don't
You're such a
care.
liar. You care.
About what, like
Shut
sports and
up.
games?
Not sports and games.
Then what?
Life. You
Like-
said life. You said I'd be bad at everything. You be bad at everything as well. You forget everything. Everything you do, you can't do properly. You fail at it. You also hate being bad at stuff. So
I don't like being alone. Like I think I'd be on Earth.
I'd take that's cap, but still, we'll run with it. Then the last one, also related to our topics today. Would you rather get promoted in 2 years' time through hard work and gritty and like shit work, or be a kiss ass to your boss
No.
for 3 months
No.
for a promotion of 10,000 US dollars?
Sounds. I don't know about the money part, but sounds familiar. Promotion of 3 months. Boss's favorite employee. No, I cannot. I cannot stand. Like even right now, like to this day, I come home and rant about how some of my coworkers are like kissing, such like suck ups. I cannot do it.
But in those 3 months, technically, you'd only just have to do a bit of ass kissing. You get 10,000 US dollars, which is 80,000.
What is ass kissing though? Like just be like their friend for lies or what?
Be their friend for lies. Like when people snitch, you like snitch
No,
to them.
I cannot. I hate people like that. I hate it. Like every day at work when I see that, it happens sometimes. I think it happens everywhere. It's not just like a.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like we all know people like that.
Oh, it's
but
definitely a Hong Kong thing, that's for sure. Yeah.
It's not a Hong Kong thing.
I'm just saying it's definitely a Hong Kong thing because I've never really seen that properly. Just obviously I've
You
seen ass
cannot
kissers.
say
No,
that.
I've seen ass kissers obviously, but not as deep as I've seen them here. Like here they suck ass. Like back home they kiss ass. Here they like
Ew.
they go
stop.
in.
Ew. Why do you have to
Yeah.
say it like that?
Here's different.
No, but here people like value
Oh.
their relationship with their bosses.
They
so
take a
much.
vacuum cleaner and install it
But
inside
I
them.
don't
suck
get it. Like,
ass.
why do you like? If I was a boss, I'd be so uncomfortable. I'd be like, I know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I don't get it.
But maybe some bosses are like deluded and they don't see that. Because a lot of the time there are bosses that are like really stupid, and then yeah.
Sounds personal.
No.
No, I don't know. I can't do it. I just no. It's but it's gonna be bad because even if I get promoted,
so you take the 2 years hard work every day. They're bashing down upon you, even though you know you're right inside. They're on your ass 2 years straight until you finally get the recognition you deserve. You can't quit. This is a situation where you can't quit.
I just not get promoted. I don't think I care that much. Yeah. But I cannot, because even if I get promoted in 3 months and like everyone knows because like of my boss, no one's gonna respect me. And like and if I have to manage people, like my subordinates won't really respect me, and they're gonna know why.
Subordinates,
my employees, my slaves, my minions.
Yeah, and my subordinates. Crazy.
I've been saying a lot of like corporate words around the house recently. I take my job.
Oh god. Yeah. No, I would. I agree with you. I would never kiss ass. Fuck that shit. Fuck kissing ass. That shit is dead and only for losers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm on your team here, and that's where we're gonna end it today. Thank you very much for joining me today and talking on another podcast where you have returned after you've been gone for a few episodes. Sevi and Noah have kind of stolen the spotlight, so thanks for your appearance. Anything else you want to say?
Yes.
Yep.
Don't kill people.
Don't eat people.
Don't kill people.
Don't kill and don't eat people, guys. Alright. Have a good one. Take care and we'll chat to you soon. Bye.